Honda's biggest car market in the world was the United States. Well, it used to be. It's not anymore. A recent report just exposed the fact that customers are buying Tesla vehicles instead of Hondas. No, seriously. People who bought Teslas said their last car was either a Toyota or a Honda or a BMW, but much smaller percentage. The highest numbers of buyers who are leaving other car companies and going to Tesla come from Toyota and Honda. You would think, right, that once Honda learned that that's happening, and I'm pretty sure they already knew about it before this report exposed these facts, that they'd say, you know what? Yes, customers are speaking, and they are speaking with their money. They're going elsewhere, buying electric cars. We don't sell electric cars. Let's just make as many electric cars as we can. Instead, they are doing something a bit different, which is bizarre considering what's happened over the last 6 months of the year. Their decision appears to be possibly the reason why, in my opinion, this company will be bankrupt within 10 years' time. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Thank you for tuning in and for subscribing to the channel. It really helps us to get the word out there on getting people to change, getting people to realize that the future is better. By the way, just want to give you guys a quick update. I got a phone call today saying I can pick up my electric car. Finally, hooray. So I'm excited for that to happen. But I'm not so excited about Honda's decisions. Now, honestly, I don't want Honda to fail. Some of you might think I do. I don't. The reality is the Japanese people are going to be in for a very hard time over the next 20 years or longer. There is no way out of this. The Japanese automotive industry is about to be decimated. It's already starting, but the decimation it's basically arrived on their doorstep. And Honda has gone, you know what? Let's just ignore it. Let's pretend it's not here. Let's pretend this isn't happening. But unfortunately, this is going to affect more than Honda and its employees. It's going to affect the entire Japanese economy because the Japanese economy relies upon the automotive industry more than any other country in the world, period. No one has questioned me on this because it's a fact. None of you have sent me an email saying you're wrong on this because you all know it's true. The Japanese automotive industry is more important to the Japanese economy than anything else by a million miles. It's not even a close. There's no close second place. This is not a close race here. So the fact that the Japanese automotive industry is about to be decimated is extremely problematic for Japan itself. Honda is a big part of this. They are at fault. They are unquestionably at fault. They've chosen to simply ignore the future. It's like, BlackBerries, right? Nokia phones, they're around. And some phone companies were like, smartphones come out. Some phone companies just went, you know what? We'll just keep on making these old phones with all these buttons all over them. People won't want a smartphone. Well, look what happened to them. Right? Look what happened to Nokia. That's exactly what's going to happen to Honda. Now, Honda is saying their solution to all this is to get companies in China to make EVs for them. They won't do it. Other companies will make them eventually at some point in the future. And the solution in their other biggest market in the world, the United States, is to simply get General Motors vehicles and rebadge them. That's literally what they're doing. They're literally getting General Motors to make their electric cars for them, meaning they have a middleman. Meaning they've got to pay a market. They've got to pay General Motors. General Motors is not going to do this for free. General Motors is not going to say, yeah, sure, we'll give you these at cost. Right? Honda's just going to have to pay a markup. How many people do you think in the United States are going to go, yeah, let's pay more money for a Honda EV when we know this is a General Motors electric car with Honda badges on it? How many people are going to do that? Realistically, if you think about it, the decimation has already begun. Honda sales this year in the United States are down 40%. That is crazy. This is how fast disruption happens. 40% in only 11 months. That, my friends, is the death knell. And instead of saying, you know what, customers have been surveyed, they're saying they're leaving because we don't sell any electric cars. Let's make electric cars immediately. Let's put all our efforts into that. They've just gone and said, you know what, we're going to bring out a hydrogen-powered car in 2024. We're going to develop that car. We're going to spend money on that. We're going to spend time on that. Even though, well, They should have known, and they should know right now, that hydrogen-powered cars are dying quickly in the United States. Sales of hydrogen-powered cars are basically collapsing. People are saying, what? Why did we buy these? And they're not buying them anymore. Sales have gone down drastically. I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about the death of hydrogen-powered vehicles in the United States. It's here already. It's over and done with. That little bizarre period in the United States history and in global history of having people buying a hydrogen-powered car, it doesn't make any sense. How many hydrogen filling stations are there that they can actually use? Not to mention how expensive is the fuel. It's just so bizarre that anyone ever thought that was a good idea, when obviously mathematics, very simple basic mathematics, would have shown them that that was a terrible idea. And Honda, they're doubling down. No. You know what? We tried to sell hydrogen-powered cars in the past. It didn't work, right? They had stopped selling some of their hydrogen-powered cars in many countries because they weren't selling. Let's just invest more money into that. Customers are telling us they want EVs, but let's invest more money into hydrogen-powered cars. Do you feel sorry for Honda? I don't. Honda are going to build a fuel cell electric version of its 6th generation CR-V compact crossover starting in 2024. In addition to using fuel cell technology, or what I like to call full cell technology, which promises quick refueling, generous range, expensive prices, a product that no one will want to buy after you've had it for 3 years and not got any incentives for you to get free fuel anymore, and frankly, very few places to actually fill the thing up, seeing as hydrogen-powered stations are closing pretty quickly because they're economically unviable. Then I go on, I'll stop there. The Japanese automaker will produce the vehicles at its performance manufacturing center in Marysville, Ohio, and Honda did not say how many CR-V fuel cell vehicles it expects to build, but the facility is used for assembling lower volume products and specialty vehicles such as the hybrid Acura NSX supercar, which ceased production there this month. Automotive News says that Honda is the world's largest manufacturer of gasoline engines and has set an aggressive goal to reach carbon neutrality for its operations and products by 2050. Super aggressive. That's 28 years to get to making electric cars. Okay. Honda is saying they're going to electrify their lineup completely by 2040. That's 18 years away. Everyone else will have done it many years before then, except for other Japanese automakers. Isn't this amazing? Right? We live in the greatest time in human history. All these electric cars are coming out. People are loving them, right? The world is moving to electric cars at an incredible pace. Japanese automakers are the only ones holding out. Honda, Toyota, Mazda, Nissan, Subaru, they're all saying, you know what? We're not ready for that yet. Customers are ready. We're not. Honda says the production of fuel cells in the US will help Honda further explore their great potential as part of a sustainable transportation future. Gary Robinson, American Honda Motor Company's Vice President of Auto Planning and Strategy, said in a statement. And the other thing they're going to do is help big oil to continue to have a hold over people. How else can they do it, right? How else can big oil continue to make big profits out of people? Simply sell them some other kind of resource that they need to pay for. They have no other choice. How on earth are you going to get hydrogen, right? The only way to do it is to buy it from a big oil company, essentially. So that's their way of keeping you in their network. Now, if you like that feeling of being subdued or being controlled by someone else, go ahead, buy a hydrogen-powered vehicle. But if you don't, if you like to have choice and freedom, ability to actually charge your car using the sun or using whatever method you want to use, paying for electricity if you want to pay for it, not paying for it if you don't want to pay for it, at least you have the choice. Then, of course, the better option is to get an electric car. Before 2024, Honda will offer hybrid variants of its top-selling CR-V, Accord, and Civic to drive down emissions and ready its customers for electrification. At least that's what it says. It's claiming its customers aren't ready now for electrification, but it thinks they will be by 2024. I'd say by 2024, Honda will have probably lost not the 40% they've lost this year, but probably about 80% of their market share in the United States. And that will mean most of the factories will become economically unviable. This is what's happening to legacy automotive companies in China. Most of them are not making anywhere near production capacity in those factories, meaning they are making a loss. Fuel cell vehicles use a high-pressure hydrogen tank to generate electricity inside fuel cells, which powers the vehicle's electric motor. While the act of refueling is comparable to filling up at a gas tank, in both time and process, the lack of hydrogen refueling stations has been challenging for automakers such as Honda and Toyota, which are developing the technology. And sunk cost bias, they're unwilling to accept the fact that it's just not the technology that customers want. Remember, people say, oh, it's just around the corner. It's just around hydrogen. It's going to work. It's going to work. But these people who say this, they don't realize companies have been working on hydrogen-powered cars now since the 1960s. And they still haven't arrived. The time has come and gone. Here's the thing. The United States' hydrogen network has so far been focused primarily on the West Coast, clustered pretty much only in California. And that's in spite of the fact that since 2013, Honda has been part of the H2 USA private-public partnership with automakers, hydrogen suppliers, and the fuel cell industry to find a cost-effective way to build out an infrastructure that will deliver affordable and clean hydrogen fuel in the US. It isn't possible. There is no cost-effective solution to build out hydrogen refueling stations. They are incredibly expensive. And frankly, the reality is every other automaker, except for, well, Toyota, Honda, and BMW, is well aware of this. The only question is, when will those three companies figure this out for themselves? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.